On 19 February, weather cleared. Now we started the long-planned attack against the Luftwaffe to win control of the skies over Europe, no matter what the cost. This was to pave the way for invasion. General Eisenhower and his air officers, General Spaatz and Kepner, watched our joint effort. Most of us came from Doolittle's 8th Air Force and Bill Kepner's Fighter Command. The stiffest resistance was expected. To protect 1,000 bombers, we were sending along 1,000 fighters. We were going to destroy the Luftwaffe from the bottom up. Nazi factories, Nazi airdromes, and Nazi planes in the sky. Most of General Pete Quesada's 9th Air Force fighter boys had come from units of the 8th. The battle-wise general had helped drive the Luftwaffe out of Africa. Now Quesada was getting us ready for a series of operations which free people will always remember as the Big Week. Sunday morning, 20 February. We prepared for the heaviest assault in the history of the American Strategic Air Forces up to that time. Doubtful weather and a stronger Luftwaffe made this a big gamble. Some expected possible losses up to 200 bombers and crews. This was the prelude to invasion. Generals Brereton, Spaatz, and Vandenberg hurried to join the show.
Major Carl Spaatz signaled 18 pursuit crews to prepare for a mass graduation review. This was the big moment after more than a year of the toughest training in the world. As the newest members of the Air Service, they took off to do their part in building America's early air power. It was a magnificent sight to see these squadrons take possession of the air.
In the nation's capital at Bolling Air Force Base, an anniversary. 35 years since the question mark. The Air Force's most remembered venture into aerial refueling. At the Bolling Officers Club, the crew of the question mark, General Tooey Spaatz, Aircraft Commander, Colonel Harry Halverson, Master Sergeant Ray Huey, and Lieutenant General Ira Aker. Lieutenant General Pete Quesada, the only absent member of the 1929 crew, which made history by staying aloft in California skies for over 6 days. 5,200 gallons of gasoline, 262 gallons of oil. This valiant effort made aerial refueling not just an idea, but a reality. It wasn't the first attempt, however. In 1923, 2 Air Service DH-4s made a successful in-flight refueling over Rockwell Field, San Diego. It wasn't until 1948 that in Operation Big Drip, 2 B-29s made an attempt to revive the question mark's technique. The next development was the flying boom in 1951. Center point refueling was the next big wrinkle. From one receptacle, all tanks can be filled. All current refuelable aircraft enjoy such a system. The first jet tanker, the KC-135, was delivered in 1957. Tactical fighter bomber aircraft are also used in global operations and must rely on aerial refueling. Now, fighter aircraft are refueled in flight by the KC-135 jet tanker to speed their deployment, much like the supersonic B-58 is hustled on its intercontinental journeys. 5 in-flight refuelings helped it establish its recent Japan to England intercontinental speed record. And Major Sidney Kubish, the record-setting B-58 pilot, shares his experience with General Spaatz on this historic anniversary. 2 generations of aerospace accomplishments. The question mark, a significant event in the annals of Air Force history.
I think practically everyone in aviation felt the need for a separate Air Force.
General Carl Tooey Spaatz.
I think it's completely changed American life. Transportation across the continent is a matter of hours instead of days. Moving people, moving goods, and then the military side of it no nation can be a first-rate nation since aviation was born without having air power as a background of the military strength. I think the most important is your contact with fellow flyers. They were all remarkable men.
Tooey Spaatz, old now, 1st Air Force Chief of Staff.
Could never be quite sure where the next Allied air blow was coming from, or going to. With shuttle bombing, the coalition land war, crushing the Wehrmacht on 3 fronts, would take wings to become coalition air war, and there would be no target in Germany or German-occupied Europe American planes could not seek, find, and destroy. These were the strategic purposes of Operation Titanic. The task of achieving these purposes was assigned to Lieutenant General Carl A. Spaatz, Commanding General of the United States Strategic Air Forces in Europe, and became the responsibility of Major General Frederick L. Anderson, Deputy Commanding General for Operations. In 4 months, the new bases were to be selected, constructed, supplied, staffed, and ready for use. A problem in men, materiel, space, time, and secrecy, requiring food, gasoline, bombs, ammunition, trucks, jeeps, steel matting, and more than 20,000 tons of other equipment.
Now, theater air commanders, Generals Spaatz and Aker, arrived at Foggia to plan new strategy with General Nathan Twining, the 15th Air Force CG. Spaatz and Aker were handing Twining the biggest job his bombers had ever undertaken. At the Berlin surrender, the U.S. Air Force was ably represented by General Spaatz, who helped lead the Allied air supremacy, which had trampled out the path to victory in Europe.
After Arnold retired, Carl Spaatz became Commanding General of the AAF, and in 1947 sparked plug creation of the separate Air Force, and saw it come into being.